Hey growing people, welcome to the garden. Today we are going to sow some carrots. And I wanted to show you the soil before I get started. This is actually soil that I grew my last batch of carrots in that I harvested last season. And if you can see, it's really loose and fine. It's actually just been sitting in this bag since the last time I grew carrots. And you can see there's no chunks in it. There's not really any branches or any twigs or anything like that. And some of you might be able to find potting soil that is really fine and doesn't have branches and bark and things like that in it. But I actually sifted this potting soil, and this is a 5-gallon grow bag, and it took forever and ever and ever. And I think that's why I didn't want to use this soil for anything else, because I do not want to sift soil like that again, especially since I don't have a sifter. I just used a cardboard box top that I punched holes in, and it took a very, very long time. So this is the same bag of soil that I'm going to use. I got great results from this bag and this soil actually last season, so I wanted to use it again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to moisten it down some. I'm going to refresh it with some more perlite and some compost, and then I'll be right back to show you how I sow the seeds. Okay, so my soil is nice and moistened a little bit. I added some compost and some perlite. And I'm still trying to make sure that there are no twigs or branches in here. And the reason why I'm doing that is because when carrots grow, when they're growing straight down, if they meet any kind of barrier, they will split. And then you'll have some very odd looking carrots, which is fine, but I also want my carrots to grow nice and straight, nice and deep, all the way down. So that is why I sifted very, very carefully. And now I'm ready to use this soil again. So this time I'm going to sow some atomic red carrots, which I have not grown before. So this is exciting. And we're going to see how it does. And according to the package, it says I can plant it here in zone 9 from March through August. So it is actually the last day of April. And I thought I would get in one more planting before the new month. I chose carrots to end the season with, or not the season, but to end the month of April with. So this is what they look like. And the seeds are pretty feathery and fine. And you don't want to do this on a windy day outside in the breeze, because they will just blow everywhere. Now there's a couple of ways that you can sow the seeds. You can do the grid method, where you make indentations and make a nice grid and put, one seed in each square. I did that last time. It actually really didn't matter. The best results that I got were from just sprinkling the seeds on top. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to bring you closer so you can see the process. All right, so we're nice and close. Here are the seeds again, and I'm just gonna sprinkle them on the top. Kind of spread out, but I'm not really worried about where the seeds land. If I need to, I could thin these if they're growing too closely together when they start coming up. Okay, so that's kind of all that there is to it. I'll give you a closer look at what the seeds look like in the soil. It's kind of hard to tell because the perlite is light and so are the seeds, but they're in there. What I'm gonna do now is get some more soil that is nicely sifted and just sprinkle it on top. All right, I've got some topsoil that I'm going to put over the seeds. And I'm just gonna grab it and sprinkle it on top. We don't want to bury the seeds too deep because we don't want the seedlings to have to work too hard to get to the surface or to come through the soil. You do want to make sure that the seeds are covered. You don't want them exposed, but you don't want too much soil on top either. And looking closely, I can't see any seeds, so that is a good indication that I have enough soil on top. The last step is to just water this in. So that's what I'll do. And it's good that the soil is already moist because it helps retain the water instead of just flowing straight out of the grow bag. You always want to water really well after you sow seeds so that you can help get rid of some of the air pockets and air gaps. You want the seeds to be in direct contact with the soil so that they can grow well. And this is looking pretty good to me. Okay, and that's all there is to it. That is how you sow carrot seeds the easy way, especially if you have some really good soil on hand. That's all for this video. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, grow something good.